beginning of trading, all of the terminology, all of the lingo, and so on. We will not have anyone get through the advanced parts of trading until they understood the basics. If you don't understand the basics, if you don't understand the concepts, you're not going to be as successful as you'd like. So the way our system is set up is we want you to get the groundwork first. We want you to get the foundation first, and then we transition you into methodologies and the actual brink trading concept. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to my girl, Ash Motive.
Alrighty, hello, everyone. If you could hear my voice, because before I continue to speak, and I'm gonna speak slow, put an 8 in the chat for me, please. Yes, yes. Hello. Loving the 8. So I'm gonna take my time and speak slowly because I understand that there are different translators speaking. So with that being said, as John said, my name is Ashley Alvarez. You can also call me Ash Motive, and you'll get the history behind my name when you jump into my classes one of these days. So I'm originally from Miami, Florida, but I live in Chicago, and I love the warm weather. So for those in Miami, I will probably see you soon. Okay. So a little bit about me. Before becoming a full-time Forex trader, I was a registered behavioral technician, and I worked with children with special needs, as well as a movement therapist, providing dance and movement therapy for others. To be honest, I loved what I was doing. I loved it. But when I thought about my life in 10 years down the lane, I knew my income would not be able to provide the vision that I wanted for my future. Okay. And that moment in my life, I was confused whether I wanted to continue my current career or venture off to a new one. So one day on social media, okay, I saw my cousin Curve, which you'll hear him today, post how he was making fun money doing the forex market in the forex market. So that was the first time I've ever heard about forex. And to be honest, I was interested in how he was making the money. It's like, where is this money coming from? Hello, give me a piece of that money. But as soon as he started to show me a chart, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I no longer became interested. For some reason, seeing a chart intimidated me. I felt like by looking at a chart, I had to be good at math. I had to be super intelligent to understand. And I was so intimidated because I also thought that it was only males participating in it. Okay. Only males. I didn't see any other ladies doing it. Okay. So a month or 2 months goes down the line. And again, I saw my cousin post something on how he compounded the account, his account. So I reached out to him again and asked him, what are you doing? He said, I told you already, Forex. And that's when I realized the only way for me to reach my goals within a few years is if I really took the time to understand how money works and how it flows. Okay. So I also realized that Forex could be the vehicle that could take me to my ultimate goals, that can help me reach my ultimate dreams. Okay. So I started learning. As soon as I started learning, I no longer felt intimidated. Why? Because I started to know each stuff on the chart. It no longer felt like a different language to me anymore. Okay. I felt so silly afterwards because it just took a couple minutes for me to learn some small things for me to just to start to understand it. So while working at my previous job, I started studying a minimum of 1 hour a day. Okay. As I started to make practice and apply the knowledge and actually see results, I went from being a full time employee at a company to being a full time trader. Okay. For being a full time trader and now taking charge of my life. and where I want my 10 years to be, and how much income I want to make for my life, and what legacy I want to leave behind for my future and for my family and for the family down the line. Who knows, right? So now here I am, a few years later, impacting lives, breaking their intimidations, and bringing out the confidence that they need in order for them to realize that they can do this too. So, pretty much, if I can do this, you can do this. I'm not good at math. I'm not the most intelligent person, but I can say this: I will go after my goals and I will be disciplined enough to reach my goals. Okay. So, my mission is to elevate others by introducing fun, creativity, and providing the basic knowledge of Forex while bringing the information to life. Since being a Forex trader is 90% mindset, okay, remember this, being a Forex trader is 90% mindset and 10% technical. So I also provide or uplift the mindset of others to provide them the confidence and the motivation they need to reach their goals. So in my sessions, in my class, are meant to prepare you to jump into the advanced classes where you will learn a strategy, concept, or system and how to enter and exit the market with our advanced educators. But first, okay, you need to understand the basics. Okay. So, with that being said, let's take the first step and take a sneak peek of the basics within 15 minutes because I don't have that much time to share all the information, but I'll do my best to give you a first step, okay, to help break a little bit of that intimidation if you do have. So, with that being said, you're not going to see my face because I don't want to distract you from the actual information. All right. So, put an 8 in the chat if you're ready to go. There you go. There's little 8s. Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, let's get started. First things first. The cool thing about this generation is that we now have a way to start thinking like the banks and see how money really flows through the largest market in the world called Forex. Okay. Forex stands for foreign exchange. It is the global market that allows the exchange of one currency for another. Get this, Forex is a $6.6 trillion per day market. Listen, $6.6 trillion per day in market. Do you know what that means? It means that you have the ability and the opportunity to make a portion of that $6.6 trillion per day market. Crazy, huh? All right. So, that being said, let's get to it. So, the Forex market opens 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, and only closing down during the weekends. So, unlike the stock or bond markets, the Forex market does not close at the end of each business day. So, what that means that instead, trading just shifts to different financial centers around the world. So, you have London, you have Cindy, you have New York, you have so many other places, four other places in the world with big financial centers that are trading all over the world 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Beautiful. So there's doesn't matter if you have a job and you have an 8 hour shift. Guess what? You can go back home if on a Monday and look for opportunities to get into the market because it is a 24-hour market. Lovely. Love it, love it. So so Forex market is an online exchange of different currencies all over the world, right? So as the currencies exchange rates fluctuate, you can choose to buy or sell currencies. Again, as the currency exchange rates fluctuate, you can choose to buy or sell currencies. So, right? So, here are some examples of currency pairs trading in the market. So, for example, you have, they call it the Aussie dollar, which is Australian versus the United States. You have the dollar CAD, which is United States versus Canada. You also have the dollar Swiss, which is United States versus Switzerland. Then you also have the euro dollar, which is Europe versus the United States. You have the pound dollar, which is Great Britain versus United States. And these are just some of the currency pairs that you can trade in the market. There are plenty more. There are at least top 28 of them. And I'm just talking about just a few, right? Now get this. You can also trade commodities and among other things, such as oil, gas, metals, such as gold and silver. Then you got stocks such as Apple, Google, and US 30. Okay. And lastly, you even have cryptos like Bitcoin. Some of you might have heard of Bitcoin that's going crazy around the world at this moment. So these are among other things that you can trade in the market. So the market moves in two directions, up and down. So it goes up and down, right? The beautiful thing about Forex is that you can make money both ways. So you can make money whether the market goes up and whether the market goes down. However, in order to do so, you need to be able to know when to buy and when to sell. Again, you need to be able to know when to buy and when to sell. So, how do I make money in the market, Ashley? How? Good question. Let me show you. So, as I mentioned, the market moves in two ways, up and down. You can make money whether you buy in the market or whether you sell in the market. So, you sell high to make money and you buy low to make money. Okay. But you will learn a strategy, concept, or patterns on how to forecast the market in order for you to multiply your money. So, you will learn, okay, a strategy, a concept, or system in how to enter the market so that you can multiply your money. And the great thing about it, we will teach you how to risk less to make more profit. And you will learn that with our advanced educators classes. With me, you will learn the very basics to prepare you to jump to learn a strategy, concept, or system. There's steps to it all. Okay, take it baby steps. Each step matters. Okay, each step matters. Now, really quick, and I want to see this chat moving. Okay, a moment of truth. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever felt intimidated by the chart or Forex in general. There's the ones. Moment of truth. I love the honesty. I love the transparency. I love the honesty because that's what it's going to take with us to move forward. But guess what? There's no reason to feel embarrassed about it because, as I mentioned before, I felt exactly the same way when I first started. Okay, I felt the same exact way. So today, I want to help take away a little bit of that intimidation just by understanding at least one thing on this chart. So, are you ready? Let me know if you're ready in the chat. Are you ready? Yes, let's go. Love it. Love it. Here we go. So, the first thing I'm going to show you, okay? So, these red and purple things that you see here on this chart, these are called candlesticks, okay? These are called candlesticks. They're normally red or green. So, originally, these are red and green, okay? However, you have the option to change the color of your chart to what you like. I always tell others your chart has to be a place where you are attracted to, a place that you want to come to. Okay. So, with that being said, candlesticks are visual representation of what is going on in the market. Okay. This is just data and explaining you or showing you what is going on in the market. Is the market going up? Is the market going down? What is going on? So they represent price movement that occurred in different time frames as well. Okay, we won't dive too deep into it because you'll learn that in my class. All right. But here's what I will tell you. Let's just break down what these candlesticks mean so that you have a better understanding when you look at a chart. You're like, oh, now I understand, at least a little bit. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, the original colors of candlesticks are normally red and green. So, there are two sides that move the market, the buyers versus sellers. There's two sides in the market, buyers and sellers. So the candles display who's in control, okay, whether it's the buyers or the sellers. So the green candlesticks indicate buyers, okay, and the red candlesticks indicate sellers. Again, green, buyers, red, sellers. So when you see the green candlesticks, that indicates price going up, okay? When you see green candlesticks, that indicates price going up, okay? How much you have learned really quick. How many ways does the market candle in the market? That means price is going A, B, or C. Lovely. So when we see a buy in the market, buy candlestick, that means price is going up. Price is going up, right? Price is going up. Awesome. Love it. So today we've covered two topics in 50, I mean, three topics in 15 minutes. We covered three topics in 15 minutes. So imagine how much you can learn within 1 hour. There are other topics that we will dive into when you jump into my class to prepare you to jump into the advanced educated classes and to have a better understanding how you can be ready to learn how to enter and exit the market to make some profit. So just keep in mind, there's so much more to learn, but you can learn if you put the time into it. So, with that being said, thank you for showing up for you. This is always my slogan. And Ash Motive is out. I hope you enjoyed my 15-minute sneak peek of the beginner's basics. With that being said, I'm going to pass it to Super K, Curve, and also my cousin, who is definitely going to help you out and show you his way of the market.
Thank you very much, Ash. Give some ones in the chat, some eights in the chat for Ash. I think she did wonderful. A lot of value just now. Let me go ahead and share my screen as well. Can you guys hear me? I'm seeing a lot of ones in the chat, so I'm assuming you guys can hear me and you're able to see my screen as well. As she told you, my name is Kervin Cadet. They call me Super K. What I teach is smart money concepts. You may have heard it as a different name, maybe institutional order flow or institutional trading, right? But I teach smart money concepts. A little bit about myself. I am
Bro,
actually.
share your screen.
Can you guys not see my screen?
No, not yet.
Oh, it might be still loading.
There you go.
Is it there? You guys can see everything?
Yep, good.
Perfect. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Kervin Cadet. I am Ashley's older cousin. Not by that much, but I like to tease her. I'm actually happy to say that I don't just have Ashley as part of my family who's in this journey with me. I'm proud to say that I have quite a few of my family members who you will all get to meet. Once you guys do dive in with us at Ellev8. But my background is I'm also from Miami, Florida. Was born there. Was kind of raised in Broward, so I like to say I'm from South Florida. Graduated FIU with computer science and an IT degree. With the bachelor's. So my technical background is really in computers. So not 100% good, a segue into foreign exchange, but I do have a decent amount of technical and computer background. Moved to Texas around 2017, was there for about 3 years. Was working at BNY Mellon as a business analyst. And then I got, into the world of actually stock and crypto first. I was a stock options trader for a while before I got into the world of Forex. And, salute to John. He was the one that got my feet wet in regards to foreign exchange. He's the one that introduced me, kind of showed me the ropes, kind of showed me that, there was other ways, right? To earning some wealth in the market, not only through stocks and crypto, right? But I dove straight in, right? He got my feet wet. I got my whole body wet. I'm talking about I dived straight in, did a whole cannonball in the middle of the ocean. Got beat up a couple times early on, but with perseverance and with me being stuck at my goal and understanding that anybody and everyone can make it in this business. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you have to be a genius about. You don't have to have like a doctorate's degree, a master's. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be some kind of a whiz kid, if you will. Anybody and anyone could learn this skill. But you have to treat it like a skill. I'm a basketball player as well. I'm a sort of an athlete. And I know that, I wasn't going to be Michael Jordan or Kobe without actually putting the work needed to do in the basketball court, right? So this is the same premise, right? The learning of trading is a skill. So as much time you put into that skill, the better that you'll be. There's always a saying that say there's 10,000 hours of any type of application to a skill makes you a master. And I truly believe that, I don't know if I've had 10,000 hours in trading yet, but I feel like I have. I've been doing this for a while now. So I definitely feel like I'm at that approach, So with my time here, it's a little bit about myself. With my time here, I'm definitely going to show you a little bit of things that I like about how I go about, looking at the market. Do understand that, what I tell you is pretty simple. The concepts that you'll be learning here today are not going to be so complicated that it's going to, throw your head for a loop. But I will say it's not easy because you do have to apply the concepts. You do have to plug in. You do have to kind of shift your mindset of what you thought you knew about the foreign exchange market and how the charts are moving from point A to B to what they really go about doing. Okay. So that being said, let me share my other screen. I'm seeing I'm kind of lagging. It might be because there's so many of you guys on this call, which I'm extremely excited about. But let me share my screen here for this chart here. Can you guys see my screen? Let me know if you guys can see it. Put a 1 in the chat if you are able to see it. I know it's a little bit of a lag, so I'll give you guys some time to do so. Not seeing any ones yet, so I'm assuming that it is a little bit lagging. John, could you give me some feedback? Are you guys seeing my screen at all?
Yes, sir.
You are seeing it? Perfect, perfect. Participants in the market, right? We have those who control the market, who allow the market to go up, down, all and around, right? And those people who are participating, like myself, you, your mom, grandma, uncle, dad, whoever else, brother, sister. So there's the retail traders, who are us, and then there are the institutions. The institutions you may ask are, you know, the banks. You have J.P. Morgan, you have Morgan Stanley, you have a lot of different huge money in the market. Banks, central banks, commercial banks, who are the ones who are pushing the market from A to B. You know, a quick Google search. I'll do that actually right now, just to kind of show you. I always do this to give you guys some kind of understanding on who the participants are. And a quick, you know, Wikipedia search will show you that the top 10 traders in the world aren't people, but they're banks. Okay, you'll see here on my right side of the screen, top 10 currency traders. We have JP Morgan Chase is number one with almost 10% share. And then we have Deutsche, we have the Citibank, you know, HC Tech, Merrill Lynch. We have Goldman Sachs, right? Some names you probably heard of. We have some others here who are in the UK and the Swiss and even German banks also. So you can tell that, you know, we have big money in the markets, right? We have big players in the market, and you can see these are all banks. These are all people who have all the money. And if you heard from Ash, right, this is a 6.6 trillion, maybe even more now, dollar a day market. And, you know, with JP Morgan holding almost 10% share, that's almost like $600 billion with a capital B. That's a lot of monies being moved in the market day by day. And JP Morgan has a huge share, right? So that's just a little taste on who the participants are. Now, the way they move this market, you have to understand, they don't just have an uptrend just go up like this for no reason, right? They don't have it going down for no reason. They don't have it consolidating for no reason. It's all a planned attack, right? There's no such thing as coincidence in the market. And you will find out there's low-key no coincidence in life too, but that's a whole different story, right? But there's no coincidence. Everything is premeditated. Everything is planned. And what you will notice, if I were to backtrack just a little bit here, right? Let's go a little bit further. Oops. Well, what you understand is that, you know, everything is premeditated, and how they go about doing stuff, they must do things in a certain way. There's no way that the banks or the market could move up forever, right? There has to be some selling. Because like Ashley said, there's only two things you can do in the market: buy or sell. Well, there's really three things, right? You can buy, sell, or just do nothing, right? Sit on your hands and just watch the show, right? But typically, if you're being active in the market, you can only do two things: buy or sell. The banks are no different. They have no kind of exception to that rule. They must buy and sell at the same time, or as well. But the difference is that while we are trying to pick and choose, oh yeah, we're gonna buy low here or sell up here, the banks have enough liquidity, which equals money, which means money, in which that they could move price, you know, at the same time. So when they're selling, they're also buying at the same time. So that's a key hint. Before they buy, they sell, and before they sell, they buy. It may sound a little confusing, but I'm gonna, you know, kind of dive into it here in a second. Now, when we're looking at the market here, right, this is where price is at currently, right? Not currently today, because I kind of rewinded the time. But if we look back here to when price was doing it, price was moving, before all these buys were happening, pay attention to what the price was doing before. It sold first, right? We had price sell before it bought. We had price sell again before it bought, sell before it bought, et cetera, et cetera. Even when it sold, right? It bought up first before it sold. it bought again before it sold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. These are little breadcrumbs that we use with smart money to tell us like, hey, big players are in the market, right? Because big players don't just include the banks, right? We have hedge funds who are managing millions, if not billions of dollars, right? So we have firms that are also managing a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? So when we talk about institutions, we're talking about them collectively, because this just means that they're the whales in the market. They're the ones who have the power to move price from point A to point B. And in this example, as I zoom in, right, when price was down here and exploded in this way, before it exploded this in this fashion, it did something first. And if we pay attention to this sell candle here, right, I know my color's a little bit different. My blue candles equal buy candles, they're not green, and my black candles equal sell candles, which are not red, right? So just understand that my black are sell candles and my blue are buy candles. And we can see down here that we have price selling first before it bought. Now pay attention just to where price happens to come back down into before it ended up buying again. Okay, not just in this instance, it happens again and again and again. Okay, a recent area here is that we have an area where price again sold before it bought here as well. And because we realize that the banks or those who control the market, they must sell before they buy. And when they're doing this, they're gonna bring price back down to where they did that in the first place. We could now position ourselves with the banks to get in with the banks to then try to catch the wave higher. And this goes back to what I mentioned earlier about liquidity, about money. Why do we know that we're trying to buy down here at these areas? It's because there's liquidity to the top. There's liquidity, there's monies. And a quick example of what monies are, anything that is equal highs, there are equal lows, okay? Obvious highs like these and obvious lows like this right here, they hold liquidity. And you'll find out what liquidity is in more depth when you attend my classes in the future. But understand that that's what the market is hunting for. That's what they're going after, is liquidity. They want monies to move the market, right? There's other terms such as mitigation that we will get involved with, and imbalance. But for today, I'm just going to show you just how price, how the market understand that there's liquidity above, okay, and that they're trying to bring price back down to where they could buy the market again to then take out this money. Don't believe me? As we continue to play this out, you get to see just how meticulous this can be. As price continues to move down, we see now we've entered inside of our zone, and lo and behold, the price begins to go higher and higher and higher. And then at this point here, target is acquired, right? We expected price to go lower to where they also sold to buy what they bought from last time. And as soon as they got there, price exploded. Oops. Now, what this may look like as far as, when you're entering the market, and something that you're going to learn a lot from me too, is about risk management, right? Your risk to reward, your R&R. And we utilize this tool right here, which is the long position. And as we map out, our area, let's just kind of clean some of this stuff up just a tad bit. I'm going to mark off that sell candle that we had our interest on, which was right here. This is our point of reference. And if we're planning a trade to get into the market with the banks, because we understand that the banks got into this candle because before, like I explained, they sold before they bought. And they bought leaving liquidity, lots of money above, right? So we understand that this is our plan of attack. We're trying to attack this candlestick here, or this candlestick, right? This was our first one. And as soon as it came down there, we had the reaction that we wanted. And our TP, or our ultimate goal, would be the liquidity that was sitting above. that we could, you know, map out right here, right? All this money that would say these nice equal highs. Now, what I want you to pay attention to, though, is the fact that we have the R&R, right? The risk to reward. We're risking, you know, 1% of our account per trade, maybe 2%, maybe 3%. I really don't want to go any higher than 3% because, you know, now we're risking a lot more than of our account. But if you were to just risk 1% of your account and we're aiming for this target here, we're looking at a 10% gain, right? It might have taken a few days, maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe a day or two, but if you had to wait 2 days to make 10% of your account, drop a 1 in the chat if you would literally wait that long, you know? I know I would, right? And the good thing about this is that we are exploiting a lot of the stuff that everybody learns, because the banks who control the market understands that everyone knows about support and resistance. Everyone knows about trend lines, et cetera, but we use that to our advantage with smart money because we understand that they exploit what everyone knows. You know, there's a good saying that always goes that, you know, if everyone is going to the right, you might want to be wise and look to the left because, you know, the masses more often than not have it wrong. You know, a good thing I learned about when I was trading the stock market is that if you see, you know, a stock is on the news like MSNBC or something like that, and they're saying, oh yeah, buy Apple now, the price is surging. You are too late. You are too late. It's kind of the same thing in the market. If everyone is thinking sell at a specific point, a resistance level or trend line, whatever the case is, if everyone is thinking that, you might want to do the opposite. Because as you noticed with this little resistance, our liquidity, if you will, we had price come back up there, gave some signs of selling, but it just ended up going higher, right? But we were fortunate enough to get an entry down here because we understood what the market was hunting for, what the market was doing, how we positioned ourselves with a very small stop loss, about 18 pips. You will find out in my classes, we get low as 5 pips, 3 pips, you know what I'm saying? We rarely go above 20 pip stop losses, you know? And because we have such small stop losses, we have such a higher risk to reward, you know? It's important to understand too that, you know, we are not the banks ourselves. All we can do is try to identify, you know, points of interest in which the market could come back down to where we expect the banks to reload on. And of course, we're going to get wrong. We're going to have things wrong. But what's important is that we are always using risk management. So even if we are wrong, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to cry about a 1% loss. But if I didn't practice risk management and had a 10% loss, 20% loss, then I'm definitely beating my head, right? I'm seeing a lot of people asking about pips. Another thing that you'll learn is that I don't care about pips. I think percentage outweighs pips because you can make 1,000 pips on a trade, but what does that equate to your account growth? How much did you risk to get that 1,000 pips, right? In this move right here, we made 185 pips. That's fine and dandy. But to make that 185 pips, how much did we risk? What percent growth did we get in our account from that? Right? In this situation, we made 10% growth on our account based off of this middle number right here. And again, you will learn all about this stuff inside of our classes and our sessions, right? About what a pip is. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. But understand that we deal in percentage growth. That's what it's all about. All right. And honestly, with us being patient and waiting for moves like this to happen, I mean, we reap the reward of having price explode in our favor. Oops, as you can see, right at the very peak of its buy, this movement, this measly little 10% grew to about 39-40%. Right, so with 1% risk, we're able to net 40% on our trade. Pay attention as well when price was consolidating right here, what it was leaving behind, right? Again, liquidity, some more equal highs. What did price do? It sold before it ended up buying. And where did it sell down to? The last time it sold from, right? As you can see, the same area that got us into the trade the first place, right, came right back down into that area, mitigated, and then went higher, right? So again, you're gonna learn about all of these concepts, all of these analysis and understanding in the market in my classes. I have a saying that I trade BNT, which means butt naked trading. As you can see, I have no indicators in my chart. We're able to net 40% on our trade. Pay attention as well when price was consolidating right here, what it was leaving. What I love about our platform in Ellev8 is that we can utilize a lot of these stuff here, apply an indicator. Shout out my boy John with the cloud, and others who use other instruments, right? You can utilize those things in tie with naked trading and that understanding of how the market is moving to make immense gains, right? Because of all the confirmations you have with the indicator or whatever you want to use, right? But myself and how I teach, it's straight BNT, right? I'm gonna write that down if you need to, but it's always BNT. It's naked first, and then if anything, if we need added confluence, we'll add it. They're fourth. Okay, so I don't want to give too much anymore. Take up more time. I know we're on a pretty tight ship here. This is a quick, brief introduction to myself and how I teach with smart money. I hope you guys enjoyed this brief little demo. And I really can't wait to see all of you guys in our sessions for our launch, right? With that being said, man, I appreciate this. It's Super K. I'm gonna hit it right back to John. Take it away, my friend. And I'll see you guys soon.
Sheesh. Well done, Curve. Well done, Ash. And if you can hear me, drop an A and a K in the chat box, just so you can give Ash, give Curve back some love. The stuff that they taught is it's so overlooked. And for myself, I want to finish up my story that I shared. I shared that prior to the information I was able to learn, I was a fitness entrepreneur. I want you to think about that, because I was a kid in school that actually wasn't that great at math. I actually didn't have a ton of patience, and I technically was terrible with economics. And all 6 years, I went to college and achieved a business degree. And you know what? They never talked about trading. They never explained it. They never walked us through how money actually works. And so when I came across this information, I instantly wanted to learn everything that was under the sun. And what you'll find at Ellev8 is we don't waste your time with fluff and stuff and things that you can go Google on the internet or pick up in a book and totally understand it. Folks, if it were that simple, then everybody would be a successful trader. So you really want to think about, why aren't more people talking about trading? If it were so simple, why aren't more people winning? See, the masses seem to learn the information and they all learn it the same way. The way we teach at Ellev8 is we focus on basic principles and combination of bank trading concepts. And so I loved the fact that Curve brought up the banks, because the banks are the bigger players. People like you and I and any individual that takes on the knowledge and tries to apply it, they call us retail traders. So oftentimes I meet people and they say, you know what, I can't I lose a trade because my friend trades? No, not unless you're moving $1 trillion+ in a trading account. You do not have control of the market. You can't move the market. Just because you bought doesn't mean I can't buy a currency or short a currency, and so on. I love that we brought to you the very beginning basis. But folks, today is not about you understanding it all. Today is just to get your feet wet on the concepts of Forex is real, you're already doing it, and How is it that Ellev8 is so different than everything else? Well, good. Now I know that you're on the right track because we're going to teach the concepts in the right order without all the fluff and all the extra stuff. So to conclude my story, I went from zero information to turning three figures into eventually 6 and 7 figures in a very short amount of time. And I don't say that to boast or brag. I really don't. I say it so that you can understand, as long as you don't give up on yourself, you too will be a successful trader. Learning how to risk only 1 to 3% of your capital, seeking to always gain 3% or greater. I played an American sport called baseball, and it's crazy the way they pay in that sport. A lot of players make millions, multi-millions, and close to billions in that industry of American baseball. But no one really focuses on what is it that they're actually good at. What they're good at is 3 out of 10 times they make a connection on a ball. That's it. 3 out of 10 times. If they are wrong or miss the ball or strike out or foul out or just don't make a connection, guess what that means? They missed 7 times. So how is it that they're still a millionaire? If you can approach trading the same way, applying the information properly, consistently, plugged into mentorship and our community, okay, we're all out for everyone to win here at Ellev8. We're all out for everyone to elevate. And I think the favorite thing that I always talk about with trading is we don't have to compete with each other. There's 6.6 trillion per day. It's plenty for us all to get some of that. So I was able to turn a short amount of money into an immense amount of money, walking away from an industry that I ran multiple business in for over 10 years, all because of something I call the smart cloud system. The smart cloud system is also known professionally as the Ichimoku Kinku Hayu. Do not worry about how to say it. Do not worry about what it means, other than the bank traders use this particular concept when they manage money over in Japan. Secretly, in my opinion, the Japanese bank traders are the best in the entire world, period. Right? Well, they use a system that allows them to glance and recognize the trend. See, I believe the most difficult thing in trading is the trend. How do I understand? I'm so confused. I don't know where to get in. I don't know where to get out. I don't know if it's going up. I don't know if it's going down. When do I get in? If that's you, you're about to love what I have for you. The Ichimoku Kinku Hayu is a system of about 5 components. All we will get into today is the main component known as the Kumo, or in Japanese, that means cloud. The thing that I love about the cloud is, you see, you can apply the things that Curvin talks about, that Ashley talks about, and all of our phenomenal educators, and you simply layer this onto your chart, and you too will be able to know where to get in, where to get out, and what's the trend. And I'll show you just like this. The price was misbehaving, is what I like to say. And it was going up and down and all the way around. And most people always want to know, if this were the screen that I was looking for short positions or selling positions. But if I can combine what I know with what Curvin knows, that's one of my other things that I truly think just doesn't receive enough credit, is at a lot of other education platforms, quite frankly, across the world, is they all teach really good information. But the not so good news is, who do you watch? What makes that educator better than the next educator? Or, hey, he just said to sell this and she just said to buy it. How do I know? There's some internal conflict amongst the educators. See, at Ellev8, we synchronize our approach to the market because we all teach bank trading concepts. We all actually have the same eye on the market because of the way we think and view the market. So, with that being said, I can take what Kervin just talked about, such as the institutional plays, the last up before down, and where the bank put their positions and identify it. And I can layer the identification to my cloud system because the cloud will tell me where price needs to come back to be balanced on the books. So at Ellev8, you want to watch one or two educators at a time and then transition to additional educators because they layer confluence on the lessons. We all feed each other's methodology, if you will, to the market. And that's very important if you've ever had an experience at any other platform. It's just unheard of. We all actually trade together. We're all full time traders. And before this, only a few of us had actual experience. Everyone else was, we did it the hard way. There wasn't any mentorship, there wasn't a community, and there wasn't any guidance. And what we've done at Ellev8 is we said, we know what people need to experience in order to be successful. And that's create a culture, create an environment of winning, of sharpening each other, of helping each other expedite this learning curve. Because truthfully, it should take you anywhere from 2 to 4 years to be a successful trader. What we do at Ellev8 is we cut the time down. How about 3, 6, 12, or even 18 months for crying out loud to be successful? But we don't stop there. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday at 2 p.m. because one of our master traders, he's going to explain 2 tools that we have that can do anywhere from 75 upwards of 95% of the analysis and work for you. So what I'm showing you is the manual way to do it, but we actually have tools and resources that can do a lot of the analyzing and actual hard work when it comes to trading and managing trades for you. So that part is phenomenal. We have semi-automated and fully automated, customizable, proprietary tools and resources that you'll only be able to get your hands on through being an Ellev8 student. So I got a short position on my eye here with the Great Britain versus the US dollar. I'm going to pay attention for only short positions because we're underneath the cloud here. All I want you to understand is the cloud will let you know the direction of trend. So let's just hit that forward button and I want you to see something. Speed it up. Pause. Because we're underneath this portion, which the bulls came in or buyers came in, I ignored wasting my time getting on the wrong side of the market because we were under the Kumo cloud. Now, there are a few more components that will filter quite a bit of the noise. So don't sit and be frustrated and feel like, oh my gosh, I still don't get it. I'm so confused. What is he even talking about? I think he's actually speaking Japanese instead of English right now. Trust me, I get it. We too started the same way. I was so frustrated and no one was there for my questions and my concerns. Thank goodness we have Ellev8. So underneath the cloud, I only look for short positions. When I see the future, which the cloud is 26 periods, and in this example, 26 hours ahead, I see the trend. Okay, so anything on the right side of that candlestick is the future. This lets me know just on this part of the component, I can stay in a short position. So I'm going to hold that. I'm going to see what happens. Let's let it play out. And boom. Want to stop right there. And I want to invite you into the cloud system. Exactly. Curve spoke about something that the banks leave breadcrumbs, they leave clues. This, friends, was a clue. The equal lows here, although the market shot way up there, it got way up there, okay, way up here, all the way from here, but we notice an equal low and an equal low. Now, trust me, you're not going to know everything I'm talking about. You got to come to class to understand it. But these equal lows are very important. They are muy importante, which, by the way, if you are bilingual, especially Hispanic and Spanish, guess what? Our Spanish educators will meet you tomorrow. Write this down. The Spanish educators of Ellev8, they will meet you tomorrow. Watch, you want to hear my Spanish? Mañana, you see? Tomorrow, Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, you get the Spanish version of education that we offer at Ellev8. So we don't leave anyone out. We have multiple languages. We've got French releasing soon. We're working on our Czech and Italian educators as well. But when we launch, we're launching with Spanish, English, and French, my friends. We. I was so corny, but I hope you're following along with me here. This zone was important. And what I want to point out is this. I want to point this out. That area was where I would have gotten into my short. And because I knew price had to get down to that area, let's go into what Curve was talking about, which is risk management. I would have taken that short position down to that zone because of what I've been able to learn and know. I would have put the stop on the edge, and I would have been able to grow my trading account by risking 1% to make almost 6%, about 5.5%. Are you with me there? Are you with me? Are you smelling what I am cooking here? I want to make sure you're with me. If you're with me, type a Y for yes in that chat box, because this part here is very important. If you can understand that the cloud lets you know where the trend is going and you have confidence to sustain the right side of the trend, you don't trade against the trend because the trend is your friend. So just based on that, risking 1%, or you can say 17 pips or points in the market. And what pips and points are actually breaks that down in the basics, but I'll give you a flyby on the explanation. What we're looking at here is apparently the Great Britain pound was a little bit weaker than the dollar by almost 40 cents. The numbers on the right-hand side here. You don't need to be good at math. You don't need to know that information. All you need to be great at is being a super student, cheating off the smart kids, your Ellev8 educators, that actually know and clearly understand this information, because we also trade with you folks. We also give you trades that we're looking at taking ourselves, or maybe we've already taken those trades and we're in those trades along with you, and we can help guide you to not jump in earlier, get in late, or stay in too long, and so on. We truly do our very best to be in the seat in the classroom with you. We don't just talk about trading, we actually live off of our trading. 99% of our educators at Ellev8's livelihood is based off of us trading our own money and or managing capital for our own benefit, right? So when we teach, it's actually out of the kindness of our heart. Folks, if you can risk 1% to gain 5%, which, by the way, John, how long did this take? How long did you make me wait for that trade? If you can grow your account in less than 72 hours, 5%, if you can do that, would that be of value? See, the question isn't, is trading for me? The question is, what is it that you want? What is it that you need to elevate in your life when it comes to finances? I love the fact that trading allows us to trade from a smartphone, from a desktop, or a laptop, and you don't have to be anywhere except for where there's internet, folks. You can be on your private plane. You can be in your car. You can be at your kid's soccer practice. It doesn't matter. You can trade anywhere a smart device can connect to the internet. Very wild, right? And in closure, I want to make one clear thing here. Let's say we had, for example, a $500 trading account, and you were able to consistently get 3% per day on your trading account, just like Curve spoke of. Folks, this is an example. This is not a guarantee of income, and past performance is not indicative to future results. My performance, our educators' performance, your friends' results does not guarantee you those same results. Very important you understand that, because oftentimes I hear people say, oh, I can't share that with a friend because I don't have the results. Well, you're not teaching them. You're not the teacher, right? All you need to be great at is understanding that you're already trading, Forex is real, and the Elevate educators are going to do their very best to teach you the things that they know and expedite the learning curve with our tools and resources. What you have in front of you is 30 trading days. That $500 in my own trading account became 1,100 bucks. I'm going to drop down in 90 trading days. $500 became almost 7,000 bucks. And then lastly, in 120 days, $16,000. Why did I show you that? Because a lot of people, they get overzealous, if you will, when it comes to trading. They get frustrated. They don't make $1 million overnight. Folks, we're not guaranteeing you're going to make anything. What we're going to guarantee you is we're going to do our best to teach and reiterate the skills in a timely fashion to you can be successful. We have quizzes, we give homework so that we can make sure that you're actually involved with the application in which what we teach. If you have a different way that you can fund any dollar amount, any, and you can multiply it any percentage under your control, please sign me up, because I absolutely want to know a way that I can grow any amount of money under my control 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, because that's what we do here at Elevate. We teach you how to do that. And on average, if you can average just a 5% growth, I showed you on a trade. If you can learn how to do that weekly, that's going to be saving your money in the bank and allowing the banks to trade it for you. So we will make our mark in the industry, not from being all talk, not from being flashy at Elevate. No, no, no. By real education and knowledge. And not just sometimes, but always elevating our vision and our students' legacy. We put our students first by consistently delivering the best educators and the best technology, period. And we will be able to show you better than we can tell you, because we're just different. So, in closure, next Wednesday, you get to hear this again, but there's a different set of educators. There's a different lesson next Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But for tomorrow, the educators will be the Spanish educators. And I want to make sure that you understand we are serious about passing on this knowledge of wealth to the masses. At Elevate, we always put you first. We always put our students first. And I want to make sure that you see we're all about that. So here is what you can expect tomorrow. The Spanish educators at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take a screenshot of this, make a note of it. For anyone that speaks Spanish, we have some of the best educators in that market. And stay tuned for next Wednesday, as we will give you part 2 with a different set of educators, a different methodology, and explanation on some of our tools and resources. I will see you tomorrow in Spanish, but I'm not doing the talking. And next Wednesday as well. Make a note of April the 18th. Your life will have the opportunity to elevate. Thank you for your time. Have an amazing rest of your day.